As a boy growing up in Berkeley, I could see the city of Norfolk, understanding the political and social and cultural differences. One day, I dreamed. I'm proud to be a product of Norfolk. You have demonstrated your belief in the future of our city, and together we will build a greater Norfolk. You have demonstrated that you are for improved schools. You are for building the middle class. You are for ending the senseless crimes and murders on our streets. And your motivation to pass on your beliefs and values to a new generation, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I will never walk alone because you walk with me. There are wounds to heal. In every heart, there's the power to do it. Together, let's continue to build a better Norfolk. We are the heartbeat of the region. We are the greatest city in America. God bless you, and God bless the city of Norfolk. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thank you for that warm welcome, and thank you for being here. Before I begin, I want to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to Brian Stevens and the Hampton Roads Chamber. The Chamber has sponsored the State of the City Address for more than 30 years, and we are proud of the work that the Chamber does. I'm pleased to be joined by my colleagues on the Norfolk City Council. It's an honor to preside over the most diverse city council in Norfolk's history. Dr. Terry Whibley, Mr. Paul Riddick, Angela Graves, Tommy Smeagol, Mamie Johnson, Andrea McClellan, and Martin Thomas Jr. Thank you for being partners in the progress of this ascending city. Now, as I moved into the mayor's office, I found these under my desk. I guess someone was trying to remind me, Paul, that I had big shoes to fill. As mayor of the city of Norfolk for over 20 years, Paul Frame was the captain of Team Norfolk. He stressed the importance of collective action and a unified commitment. In addition to leaving me with a lot of projects to finish, Paul left me with a capable and motivated team. Team Norfolk is the foundation of the city's excellence. Paul, thank you for your leadership, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for a smooth transition. Please join me in recognizing a great mayor of the city of Norfolk, Paul D. Frame. If you were raised in Norfolk or lived here for any length of time, you know that we are proud of the critical role we play in defending our nation. As home of the world's largest naval base, Norfolk is the heart of the United States Navy. We're also grateful for the presence of the Army, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, as well as our military civilian personnel. Representing the United States Armed Forces are Vice Admiral Richard Breckinridge, Deputy Commander, United States Fleet Forces, Captain Rich McDaniel, Commander of Naval Station Norfolk, Colonel Jason Kelly, District Engineer, the Norfolk District of the Army Corps of Engineers, Captain Michael Moore, Chief of Staff for Admiral Jack Scorby, Captain Jack Freeman, Commanding Officer for the Naval Support Activity, and Captain Gregory Sennell, 5th District Chief of Staff for the United States Coast Guard. Please join me in recognizing them and all of the men and women who proudly serve our country. As many of you know, this year marks a major milestone in our partnership with the United States Navy. On June 28th, Naval Station Norfolk will observe the 100th anniversary of its founding. To recognize this achievement and to highlight the Navy's importance to the Norfolk and to the region, our City Council appointed a special commission to celebrate the historic moment. And the response from the community has been remarkable. Please join me in congratulating Naval Station Norfolk on its 100th anniversary. We're also proud to host the North American headquarters of NATO, the oldest, most successful alliance of nations in modern history. Without the deterrent that NATO represents, it's hard to imagine what kind of world we would live in. Here, representing NATO, our Supreme Allied Commander Transformation, General Denis Mercier, and Deputy Commander Manfred Nielsen. Please join me and welcome them. With NATO as our partner, Norfolk is helping cities throughout the world build resilience. We're not just a coastal city, we play a unique role as a nexus for global security and trade. Only a few days ago, we hosted the first ever NATO conference exploring the interdependence of private, military, and civil sectors in building urban resilience. Today, as both the sea and global tensions rise, it is fitting that decision makers from more than 30 countries convene here in Norfolk to discuss ways to reduce risk and to improve readiness. We remain very grateful that NATO made it a priority to partner with the city of Norfolk. Thank you, General Mercier. In Norfolk, it's a new day, and we're beginning to write a new chapter in our history. Construction is changing our skyline even as we speak. New apartments and hotels and restaurants enhancing our tax base. New residential options have people moving back into the city, and 6,000 new jobs are coming back to Norfolk by the end of this year. Our city's financial state remains strong. Our real estate tax remains competitive, and there are no tax increases in our proposed budget. We have instituted policies to ensure fiscal stability, and we have built a structurally balanced budget by supporting continuing expenses with continuing revenues. Today, our budget is based on a 2-year cycle rather than one, and we assess projections through the next decade, and we have fully funded our reserves, setting aside money for a rainy day. All of this is supported by a moderate fiscal policy that continues to earn high marks from rating agencies. In fact, this method has received consistently praise and grades from the big 3 bonding agencies. Fitch praised Norfolk's healthy reserves and broad budgetary tools. Moody lauded our sound, proactive management, and Standard & Poor's made a special note of Norfolk's strong economy and our very strong budgetary flexibility and strong budgetary performance. Shortly after these rating agencies' announcement, we refinanced our debt and saved taxpayers more than $6 million. Although our regional economy has rebounded less quickly than other regions following the Great Recession, we remain optimistic. We're working with Go Virginia on regionalism, and it's good to see Mayor John Rowe from Portsmouth and his entire council to create more opportunities in the private sector growth and to create more diversity in our economy and to create more high-paying jobs. For more than 300 years, Norfolk has served as the economic hub of Hampton Roads, and we will continue to evolve as an international destination for commerce and trade. Yet today, in Norfolk, you can feel a new vibrancy, a new sense of purpose, and a new sense of pride, and we are building on that momentum. Fortune 200 company, ADP, with a $32 million investment, will be adding nearly 2,000 new jobs to the city by the end of this year. This is great news. This is the largest number of jobs to come to the region in a generation, and most of those jobs will be local jobs. This $32 million investment is projected to have an economic impact here and statewide of nearly $500 million. The Main, an over $164 million investment, is a beautiful, world-class hotel and conference center that's adding another 600 new jobs and adding more than $2 million in revenues for the city of Norfolk. Already, 130 conferences and over 100,000 room nights have been booked. Thank you, GoKey PHR, for making this project a reality. More lights than ever are back on in the Waterside District with an over $40 million comprehensive overhaul, nearly 1,000 part-time and full-time jobs coming back downtown. Waterside is projected to generate over $90 million over the next few decades. Thank you, Cordish, for making this project a reality. Now, new jobs are not just coming downtown, they are coming across the city. The former JCPenney building at Military Circle Mall will be the new home of Moving Mortgage, whose 550 existing employees are moving in as we speak. And they have plans to add another 250 jobs, bringing their total to 750. Joining Moving Mortgage will be Optimal Health, a unit of Sentara Healthcare, which announced in March it will hire 200 people for a customer service center. Please join me in welcoming Moving Mortgage and Optimal Health. We're bringing new life and new jobs to the other end of Military Highway as well. In June, Norfolk Premium Outlets will open with 800 full and part-time jobs developed by Simon Property Group with an investment of over $75 million. This retail center will anchor the Northampton Boulevard. And adjacent to this development, IKEA is investing more than $75 million to open a 332,000 square foot store next year, adding yet another 250 jobs. In a city with a population of roughly 250,000 people, we provide nearly 210,000 jobs for the region, and we'll be adding 6,000 more. These new jobs mean new revenue. Once all of these new job creators are up and running, at projected levels, the city of Norfolk will realize an annual tax revenue increase of over $12 million. Norfolk's downtown is one of the nation's fastest growing residential destinations, and Marathon Development Group continues to be a key contributor. The former Bank of America building is in the final stages of a $19 million renovation that will transform the 24-story building into Icon at City Walk with 275 luxury-size apartments. Residents will start moving in this fall. There are 6 other Marathon development projects, including the renovation of the Schulman building in the 200 block of Grammy Street for the Governor School for the Arts. This project provides needed studios, rehearsal halls, performance spaces that will allow the Governor School to enroll additional students. Thank you, Buddy Gaddams. Marathon projects downtown will provide over 1,300 residential units as well as retail and office space, get this, for a combined investment of over $350 million. And once all the residential units are occupied, this will bring the number of people living downtown to well over 6,000 people. Now, that's an incredible achievement when you consider that just 7 years ago, we had only 2,300 residents living downtown, a number that we all were amazed with at that time. But that's not all. On the south side, the Banks of Berkeley features 50-unit, $9.3 million private investment. In Compostela, the Franklin Johnston Group is investing $20 million to create 152-unit Claremont apartments at Compostela Station and adding an additional 25 single-family homes. In Ocean View, EDC Homes is adding another 38 units, $10 million investment. And the Breeding Company is investing $23 million to develop Pinewell Station, 146 luxury apartments near the Ocean View Golf Course. Thank you. St. Paul's Quadrant presents the city with one of the greatest chances for economic uplift and housing opportunity in a generation. S.L. Nussbaum, in collaboration with Norfolk Redevelopment Housing Authority, plans to break ground this summer on a 126-unit housing development. This $20 million investment presents the start of new opportunities in this area. As you can see, quality housing for everyone in Norfolk is a top priority. Our neighborhood revitalization programs resulted in more beautiful streets, homes in the past year. A new derelict structures program we have instituted has a simplified message to property owners: fix up your property or demolish it. And in 2016, neighborhood quality staff received a 98% response rate from property owners contacted with this message. Renovate Norfolk is helping residents make needed improvements to their homes. We've transformed 16 homes last year. Our goal for the end of the next month is to renovate additional 40. We are committed to strengthening every community by developing comprehensive plans for our more than 123 neighborhoods. Old Huntersville is the first to do so. Residents in Old Huntersville has created a beautiful set of plans. These pre-approved plans will be used by current residents, potential homeowners, and builders interested in investing in the historic neighborhood. This initiative has reestablished this community's identity and will expand its social capital. Thank you, Old Huntersville. To ensure that everyone benefits in the city's success, we must reevaluate the very structures and institutions that have caused our city to concentrate its poverty in pockets. We must ensure that the glittering and busy downtown that serves as the foundation of our city's economy, culture, is transferred to our rest of our neighborhoods. A new day in Norfolk must come with new hope. We must make space in our city-owned facilities for retail and innovation. The Old Dominion University Center for Innovation supports high-potential startup companies, as well as flexible co-working space for freelancers and creators, telecommuters, and anyone seeking to join and contribute to the booming downtown startup community. Job creation and job readiness is our mission. This year, we launched Norfolk Works. This new effort champions Norfolk many talent pools, from military spouses to veterans, to college students, to graduates, to the unemployed. We connect residents seeking jobs to businesses ready to hire. Norfolk is one of the first cities in Virginia to link workforce development with economic development. Employers who choose our city will find not only a thriving and vibrant business climate, but an eager and highly trained workforce. Consider this: on an average, a worker without a bank account spends $40,000 over the course of their career just to cash their paycheck. Norfolk challenged this by joining Bank On, a program that teaches residents how to save and improve their financial well-being. Financial planning and access to banking serves and play a critical role in building wealth and managing money. And our first Bank On class graduated this past November. Norfolk is determined to end chronic homelessness. In January, more than 600 people volunteered at Project Homeless Connect to assist more than 400 single adults experiencing homelessness in our city. This program provides a one-stop shop for homeless residents wanting to connect with services. In December, we broke ground for Church Street Station Studios, an 81-unit development, which is a partnership between the city and Virginia Supportive Housing to combine affordable housing with personalized case management. Approximately 40 of these units will provide a stable home and new hope for people who once had neither. In fact, people experiencing homelessness in Norfolk now move into housing within 70 days on an average, a process that used to take as long as a year. Through supportive housing and other outreach efforts, Norfolk has reduced by 63% the number of people considered chronically homeless. And after the completion of Church Street Station, Norfolk will be closer to the national goal of ending chronic homelessness. Transportation continues to be a top concern throughout Hampton Roads, and Norfolk is committed in leading the region and developing new solutions. Last November, we broke ground on a new interchange at the crossroads of 64 and 264. This two-phase project will provide 4 miles of improvements from the Twin Bridges in Norfolk to the Wichita Road interchange in Virginia Beach. VDOT is investing $158 million in this project to increase capacity, reduce congestion, and improve safety and traffic operations. The first phase of this project will be completed by fall of 2019. Last August, VDOT started a $60 million project for Norfolk, the continuous flow intersection at Military Highway, Northampton Boulevard, and Princess Anne Road. The project will allow straight-through traffic and left-turning traffic to proceed at the same time and expands parts of Military Highway to 6 lanes. Paul, how you like that? Additional improvements on Northampton Boulevard at Wesleyan Drive will facilitate access to the Norfolk Premium Outlets and IKEA. And construction is underway on Ocean View Avenue to improve pedestrian safety. Landscape islands will be located in the medians of this busy thoroughfare to make crossing easier and safer. Like the Navy, the Port of Virginia has long been a part of the fabric of the life in Norfolk. The port is essential to the state's economy, provides thousands of good jobs for our residents. The port had another record-breaking year in 2016. With cargo volume up 4% from 2015, we are now the fastest growing port in the nation for import growth, the highest rail volume port on the East Coast, and because of major investments by the Commonwealth of Virginia, thank you delegates and senators, our port is positioning itself to become the global gateway for the East Coast. Ultra-high-speed internet is now offering a new portal to the world. Norfolk and other cities in the region have been laying a fiber backbone that can provide speeds up to 10 to 40 gigabytes. But to fully harness the potential of ultra-high-speed internet connections, we must work together as a region. With new cables directly connecting Hampton Roads to Europe and South America, we have the opportunity to deliver a tenfold increase in capacity and become a national leader in advanced technology, research, and manufacturing. In Norfolk, we're just tapping into this new technology. We are working hard to bring you ultra-fast internet and data transmission to increase the efficiency and response rates delivering city services. With Bloomberg Philanthropies, with What Works Cities initiative, we're becoming a more result-oriented and a more value-driven city and a more transparent city. In addition to creating an open data policy, our participation in this initiative will create applications that will help improve public safety. Addressing crime and community policing is a top priority for our city. This year's budget will include funding for more equipment and more police cars. It is our hope that Norfolk police officers will be able to bring these cars home, increasing the police presence in our neighborhoods. Last summer, we launched Norfolk Nighthawks, a partnership led by our police department Tidewater Community College, and Opportunity Inc., and the Up Center. More than 1,000 young adults benefited from this safe, entertaining, and educational space at our community centers in Berkeley, Huntersville, and Northview. Not only were these centers used for recreation, but also used to sign up our residents for vocational training and job opportunities. And because of the success of this program, it will be expanded this summer to the East Ocean View Community Center. We are determined to make the streets of Norfolk even safer. You may remember Operation Riptide, a sweep earlier this year when our officers and deputies teamed up with the state and federal law enforcement agencies. Dozens of really bad characters were removed from our streets. Let me be clear, safe neighborhoods can only be realized when all of us share and participate in upholding our collective values, and when all of us have respect for justice and respect for the rule of law. There is no doubt that we're committed to the success of our students. $6 million additional dollars will be added to the budget for Norfolk Public Schools. And our superintendent of schools, Dr. Melinda Boone, is working to right-size our facilities based on current and future enrollment. Through partnership with EVMS, TCC, and Virginia Wesleyan, today, our students have opportunities to graduate with nationally recognized credentials and earn credits towards associate's and bachelor's degrees. The city is investing over $133 million to build 5 new schools. It will be hard to find any other municipality in the country that has followed through on a commitment to build 5 new schools at once. And we want to thank members of our federal delegation for their commitment and leadership in securing $23 million from the United States Department of Defense towards the construction of Camp Allen's new elementary school. Thank you, Congressman Scott. There is no doubt that we're committed to having great schools and lifelong learning opportunities in our city. Last summer, we broke ground for the development of a $10 million, 28,000 square foot library in Broad Creek. This will be the first Anchor Branch library that we have opened in nearly a decade. Advances in technology have been rapid and staggering. Today, our smartphones are millions of times more powerful than all of NASA's combined computing power in 1969. Robot-driven manufacturing and artificial intelligence are automating jobs once performed by humans. Led by Norfolk Public Schools and in partnership with TCC and the Greater Norfolk Corporation, we are creating a Pathway Center, a CTE school for our students to prepare our students for in-demand jobs of this generation and the next. Again, thank you, Dr. Boone and Norfolk Public Schools, for your commitment and bringing this to a reality. Only through stability, collaboration, and sound management can we improve our schools so that every student in Norfolk has the opportunity to thrive in an accredited school and graduate college-bound or career-ready. Flooding, challenge that Norfolk has contended with since its founding. Where marshes and ponds and creeks once served as critical wetlands supporting the Chesapeake Bay, now stand industry, our downtown, historic neighborhoods that drive our economy and give us character. Today, sea level rise has become an urgent issue. With assistance from our partners at Old Dominion University, the Netherlands, Norfolk is leading the nation in responding to this challenge. We have raised highways and houses, widened beaches, and improved our infrastructure. And with a $120 million HUD grant, we are now preparing for a major flood mitigation project to protect neighborhoods along the eastern branch of the Elizabeth River. We won a $200,000 grant from the EPA to help our city plan for the future of waterfront areas that face environmental challenges in Harbor Park, Fort Norfolk, and the former Newtons Creek. But we will do more. Our commitment to the arts and preservation of open space distinguishes us as a city. It makes Norfolk a top destination for entertainment, arts, and culture. The economic impact of arts cannot be underestimated. The Virginia Arts Festival alone is contributing $21 million to our economy. During the NATO Festival and the International Tattoo, all of our hotels were filled and our restaurants and retail shops were busy. Investing in the arts and open space provides significant dividends. The 13-story Royster Building on Granby Street is being transformed into a 120-room boutique hotel that will feature original glass art and pieces collected by Doug and Pat Perry. This $27 million investment will be part of Marriott's autograph collection. Thank you, Perrys. At Old Dominion University, they just received an historic grant of $35 million to construct the Barry Art Museum, an educational and cultural resource for students, faculty, staff, and community. Nowhere between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta can you find a critical mass of visual and performing arts than in Norfolk, Virginia. Recently, Travel and Leisure magazine named Norfolk one of the 50 best travel destinations in the country and proclaimed that we are the 14th most attractive city in the United States. That is not surprising. That is not surprising. Wait until they see our beautiful expanded beaches in Ocean View, where 7 miles of coastline between Little Creek Inlet and Willoughby Spit will be widened by 60 feet, and our Elizabeth River Trail that is offering scenic views and interpretive markers that will tell the history of our area and environment. Historically, the city has been a good steward of public funds, choosing to renovate existing structures rather than build new. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Norfolk will enter into a pre-development agreement with Oakview Group to explore options to renovate our Scope Arena. So, Paul, I did have one development besides power wash and Scope. The Scope Arena, which opened in 1971, is in need of major upgrades in order to be relevant in a very competitive sports and entertainment market. Oakview Group is uniquely suited to help us transform Scope into a facility that reflects the rich culture, Norfolk, and the great fans within our region. They are the industry leader in developing programming and management of major entertainment facilities around the country, to include Madison Square Garden and the newly renovated Forum in Los Angeles. This non-binding agreement with Oakview Group represents a potential pathway to ensure Norfolk's relevance as the entertainment hub of Virginia. And with us today is Peter Luco, co-chairman of Oakview Group's Arena Alliance and executive chairman for the Florida Panthers. Please welcome Peter Luco. Our city is ascending, bursting with new energy, new opportunities, new hope, new promise for tomorrow. This is not the work of one mayor, or one member of council, or even one city manager, but this is the work of all of you, our citizens, our businesses, our military, our faith and industry partners. We have built this momentum together. At your place setting is a brand new number 2 pencil. Take it with you, sharpen it, and contribute to the new day in Norfolk. This is an invitation to build on the momentum and write Norfolk's next chapter. And let us take a new journey, a journey beyond a dream, a journey where every citizen can enjoy a great quality of life, a journey where every entrepreneur can start their business here and grow their business here, a journey where a family can afford the home of their dreams, a journey where ultra-high-speed internet is commonplace, a journey where every student graduates college-bound or career-ready, a journey where a city is resilient to withstand the shocks and stresses of disruption, a journey where our streets are safe from violence and crime, a journey where high-paying jobs are readily available, a journey where every citizen has a sense of pride and lives a life of purpose. Is this city possible? Instead, the question we should ask is, how soon? Can we get there together? Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the city of Norfolk.